So, welcome to our third installment of these podcasts. Our second podcast obviously dealt with new media and what I prefer to call evolving media. And so, our third podcast is going to look into the new media aspect a little bit more and concentrate specifically onto the realm of podcasting. And this is obviously all part of the Web 2.0 reality that we're living right now. Although Web 3.0 isn't that far ahead, it's quite interesting and fascinating to see the number of changes that have happened in such a short period of time. So podcasting has evolved from being this simple idea where people just spoke into a microphone and had their ideas shared onto different MP3 players, especially with the iPod revolution. So it was, in a way, taking radio and turning it on its head, saying, well, anybody can do this. I just need a microphone connected to a computer and I can distribute my message to just about anybody. Now, with video cameras and them being so inexpensive, people are starting their own video casts, videotaping themselves, talking to the camera, much like what I'm doing right now, and distributing that to a wide audience. One of the things that I'd like to show you is obviously an iPod. Everybody has seen the iPod, I'm pretty sure. And I use it quite religiously. I started off using the iPod in the beginning just to play music and just to play videos that I could download off the internet. I had this really wonderful fascination. I mean, my goal essentially in the beginning of this was to collect as much music as possible and store it onto here and have my musical library follow me wherever I went. And then I discovered the wonderful world of podcasting. And one of the interesting places and one of the interesting videos that I started seeing was episodes that I think should start playing. Here we go. This is a podcast called Cute with Chris. This is the apotheosis of postmodernism, by the way. I'm showing you an iPod of a podcast while I'm podcasting a podcast. It's quite remarkable. Anyway, this is Chris, and he is quite funny. He's based in Los Angeles. I'm pretty sure he's a Canadian, so there's your Canadian content for the day. And he creates these wonderful podcasts that look quite professional. And he uses a lot of editing, uses quite a bit of comedy. But what has essentially happened with Cute with Chris is that in the matter of no time, he's gotten a very, very large audience. And on a whim, this viewer sent him an email telling him that she didn't think his show was very professional, and so he said, well, if you don't think my show is professional, let me take it onto a legitimate stage, quite literally, and moved his podcast, this online podcast that he had, brought it to a theater, to a sold-out theater in Los Angeles, and now has a show coming up in Toronto. I think it's in a couple of days, if I'm not mistaken. So, this out-of-work actor, because he is an actor, or I'm not sure if he's working, I do not want to presume, started off podcasting and had this great hit called Cute with Chris, and now has a lot of viewers, a lot of people watching him every week, a lot of people looking at his blog, and it's quite fascinating. Now, one of the things that makes Cute with Chris quite professional is his editing techniques and his use of media aesthetics. And one of the things that I like to teach in the beginning of a semester to students or to people that are trying to figure out this whole new media stuff is essentially media aesthetics, because it is important and it is sort of the basis of a lot of the things that we understand. Now, media aesthetics is quite complicated, and I can most likely give an entire course on media aesthetics. However, let's just try and cover some basics. I think I always start off with different types of shots, and it is my belief, as well as many other media educators, that the best way of understanding media literacy, of learning it, of being media literate, in a word, is to do media. And doing media with new media is quite fascinating because this is uncharted territory and a lot of things are permissible. Now, media aesthetics is the idea and the notion that we have a set of principles that are predetermined and by which a lot of content is produced that we watch on television, and we see it as aesthetically pleasing. One of the leaders in academia that talks about media aesthetics is Herbert Zettel, and he has a book called Sound, Sight, and Motion. And he explores different facets of media aesthetics, and he splits it up into 4 categories. The 4 categories being lighting, sound, staging, and editing. We're going to quickly look at a couple of these now. I see we are okay at 6 minutes 30 seconds. I'll try to cover them as quickly as we can. We have the shooting part. That's always an interesting aspect to start with. When we talk about shooting video, there are important media aesthetic principles to follow. There's always an establishing shot, a medium shot, and a close-up. These 3 types of shots help the audience figure out where we are. Now, one of the important things that